What's up, y'all? This is Devontae 47. Coming with a new video. It's been a real while since I made a YouTube video. Just simply because of you know, I've taken interest in other things, working and trying to make music or whatever. But I just thought that I would make a video on some of the latest kind of kicks that I picked up. I mean, I picked up a couple other things like uh vintage jerseys and stuff, but I'm just gonna do a kick review on some of the shoes I've gotten recently from either thrift stores or actually going to go get some shoes from the actual malls or whatever. So let's get into it. So first pair I'm going to introduce as the Flint 13 Jordans. Um so I was at the Goodwill one day and I was just I was really just riding around, what I'm saying, just going to a couple of thrifts or Goodwills, whatever I happen to find around my area. And I stopped at this Goodwill and was just looking around. At first, I didn't really see nothing that really piqued my interest. But then I looked up and I saw, like, on the left hand corner these Jordans, and I said, let me go take a look at those. So as I got closer, I said, oh wow, these are the Jordan 13s. I said, let me see. So they're a size 12. A little too big for me, honestly. I mean, they look okay with pants, but really big on my feet. I don't really wear 12s that much, but they're okay. But overall, when I got the shoes, they was really dirty, real dirty. Had like a lot of dirt and stuff. But cleaned them up, you know what I'm saying? Got them for I think uh maybe four about $14. Not a bad not bad for the conditions as far as I'm concerned. Um Never had a pair of 13s in my collection before. So you know, that was a real nice cop. Um and overall, I mean, this is actually kind of one of my favorite colorways from the 13s. I like also the Chicago Bulls 13s or the Candy Cane 13s, whichever you want to call it. But these are um, some real nice shoes to me, in my opinion. Um, Kind of see that they're still the kind of has the sticker still on there, but overall, cool, cool, dope find. Would never expect to find a pair of Jordans, and this is not my first time finding a pair of Jordans. This is just the first time I've ever found a pair of Jordans that actually fit. More to say. But on to the next pair of shoes. We got some KD's Calm Before the Storm. So just like the 13s, I had went to a family thrift, and just like any other day, what I'm saying, just walking around looking for stuff, and I saw these. I said, "Ooh, these look kind of cool." Um, Not too bad of condition. They've been obviously been worn, but I think these were no less than hell, like I think maybe $4 or $5. Um, you know, these are size 9.5. You know, real nice, dope colorway, honestly. And for $4 or $5, not a bad cop. You know, um, it's real comfortable, real snug. They're real snug. I never had a pair of KDs either. But they're real snug. They look good with shorts, in my opinion. I really wouldn't wear them with pants, but at least at least on this model, they look good with shorts. Just yeah, what I'm saying, real simple. Kind of got that kind of look like more of a salmon pink kind of feel to it, you know. But overall, I think these are real dope in my opinion, and I wear these kind of quite often, just because they're kind of comfortable on my feet and they're real light. So, you know. On to the next pair. I got a pair of Nike Cortezes. Let's see. So I got a white and black colorway. Simply because you know what I'm saying it's an iconic shoe. This is one of my favorite Nike sneakers, and you know if anybody knows, you know what I'm saying. If you ever watch Paid in Full, you see these shoes quite often. So me personally, I love Paid in Full. That was one of my favorite movies to watch, and you know honestly, these shoes just and Forrest Gump had these shoes as well. That's also another favorite movie of mine. But honestly, these shoes are very light, very affordable. If anybody, was looking for sneakers to buy, very affordable pair of shoes. I got these for about $50. Not too bad on the price. Um, overall, so I think I've only worn these shoes twice so far. Um, but black Nike swoosh on it. Um, can't go wrong with these pair of shoes. They're very comfortable, very light. You know what I'm saying? It's a good summer shoe in my opinion. It's a good overall shoe in general. You know what I'm saying? Summer, winter, fall. You wear these anytime you want to. Um, Kind of simple. Nothing else to really talk about. Uh, my last pair of shoes that I'm going to talk about has been a shoe I've been wanting for a very long time, and you know, finally was able to get my hands on them. So the Nike Air Foam Posits, the red metallic. So kind of a funny story about acquiring these shoes. So I was on a Facebook shoe group, and this guy was selling a pair for about $80. I said that's not bad. Size 10. That's actually my size. Um, Honestly, this is probably my second pair. No, my fourth pair of foams I've had. I'm sorry, my fourth pair of foams I've had. Um, but the guy I tried to hit him up was being very I don't know, just was kind of frustrating trying to negotiate with him. As far as trying to meet up and you know try to get the shoes up off him. Saying he kept making excuses, and the guy was an hour away from me anyway. So I don't like having to deal with people that procrastinate as far as trying to sell a pair of shoes and me trying to acquire them. It takes too long of a process. So I wound up going to Craigslist, just looking around, and I saw these shoes for same shoes, but they're just a size 9.5, a little smaller, but it's fine. They still feel okay on me. Um, he was selling them for 140. Text him, took me less than 5 minutes to actually negotiate, and met him up at a local mall of mine that's in Houston, Texas. Was able to get him, and real good condition. The man kept up with his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Javier, man. Appreciate the steal. But overall, man, shoes real dope, real real clean, real classy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like out of all foam posits that I've ever had in my entire collection, this is the most wanted shoe I've ever wanted out of all foam posits. Um, Everything's real on it from the carbon fiber shank. Soles are starting to yellow a tad bit. Not really a big deal in my opinion. I know some people they don't like their soles yellowing, but I think it gives it character. Nothing wrong with that. Um, Kind of made them a little bit loose with the laces. Kind of hard to see at, but you know, guy he had them tied up real tight. I don't like my shoes, especially on foam pods. I don't like them being tight, so I loosen them up just a tad bit, just to make them more breathable on my feet. and the sole doesn't have the Nike in it anymore.